Yo, 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 welcome to the Black Club. I'm your host and founder of the show, Bnote. He's your co-host, Easy Does It, your favorite trucker's favorite trucker. We got a good one for you today. We're gonna get into this first topic. It's some news you can use. The It's been trending about this racist Lyft driver calling the customer the N-word. And
Yeah.
it just goes to show to me right now uh where we headed. What do you think about
Mhm.
that?
Honestly, man, I don't think I think at this point that's just kind of has become a part of American culture overall. I don't really
Yeah.
even take, and I was about to start getting into it a little earlier. I don't even take white people calling black people the N word, whatever. Like I don't take that as hard as I used to, as
Right.
people used to. Like
Right.
I just don't carry it with the same weight because nowadays I don't believe it's coming from most of it. I do believe there are people who genuinely dislike other people because of whatever reason, skin color, whatever it is. But I think more so it's become just a trigger word that they gonna say just to piss you off. It's not that they
Yeah.
even really mean it. They probably know black people that they like something at some point. You know what I'm saying? It's just more so that I know this is gonna make you mad, so I'm just gonna say it to
Yeah.
piss you off because I'm mad and I'm throwing the tantrum right now.
That's
That's
all
what I
it is.
think it is more than anything.
Yeah,
So
because
it's still
nowadays,
offensive,
yeah, it is. But it's crazy because white people call each other that nowadays. And that's what tripped me. Everybody call
bro.
each other that
The
nowadays.
craziest shit the craziest shit in the world, bro. When I seen that, that's when that mindset starts to shift. Like it ain't simply because we black. It's
Nah.
they only say that to piss you off
Yeah.
because they call each other that to piss each other off. They call each other all type of names. We
No,
call
I've seen it
black
where they
people
call
gotta
each other that like they homeboys. And you know what I'm saying? They saying it back and forth like we do.
black people having has ingrained that into the American culture. Period.
Yeah.
Like as much as they want to try to separate and all that, we have a bigger influence on American culture than anybody.
Yeah.
So anything we do is going to be taken and they're going to roll with it, especially since these little white kids is growing up with these little black kids. It's not like it was in the 40s and the 50s where it was actually separated and you had however displaced it was, you had a genuine disdain for them people on the other side of town.
Right.
Now you grew up with these people. You know what that's about. You feel the same way about a lot of what's going on in society at this point. So now it's just to piss you off. I'm just saying it because I know it's gonna trigger you right then in this moment. So
Yeah.
it'll still get your ass beat all the same.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
get it.
still gonna have
Please
the
don't
same
get it twisted.
consequences. That's the thing.
You're gonna have the same consequence, but personally, I don't take it as a
Nah.
this, as sensitive, in a sensitive way. You just talking shit right
The
now.
thing
I'm gonna beat
is,
your ass for it, but you
with
just talking.
me, it's not the same racism as it was. Now I grew up with racism, real racism in the
Yeah,
'90s,
yeah,
where
yeah,
when they
yeah,
really didn't like your ass. You know what I'm saying? And nowadays, like
yeah.
you say, it's more of they just know that's a trigger word for black people. So it's the easiest
Right,
thing to use to get you in your emotions. The easiest thing, and we fall for it every
right.
time.
Yeah,
But I mean,
fall for it every
it's
time.
understandable at the same time. But
It's understandable. I mean, that's just like calling a woman out her name or
yeah,
calling anybody out their name, any type of derogatory term, But then on the same side, like the same way, I've seen this comparison where, women call each other bitch, but if a man say it, it's a problem. It's the
yeah,
same
right.
concept, and men, we just accept that that's a thing. That's a double standard. Whatever they don't like it, fine, whatever. So it's just kind of about that. Like and most dudes at this point, the only reason you say it is just to piss her off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's not that you really even feel whatever XYZ way about this person. It's just you got me fucked up right now, and whatever gonna hurt your feelings, I'm gonna say it. Is
Yeah.
what it is.
Have you seen
So
online where a lot of people talking about a race war in America. Uh,
Yeah,
what do you
yeah,
think about that?
man, bro. I feel two ways about that. I feel like on the one hand, people be, kind of trying to hype it up to make it into a thing.
Yeah,
But with some of the conversations that I've heard, whether that be through podcasts or, I'm a very vigilant, observative, what I'm saying, type of person. So I'll sit back and listen and watch people and stuff like that. And just, man, I seen a dude in in Dick's Sporting Goods, and he came in and bought. He had to spend at least $1,000 on ammunition alone.
yeah,
And
I believe it.
I'm a inquisitive. I'll pick your brain. I'll ask you a question. I'm not shy or bashful about asking a question.
Right.
And so, I was just asking him or whatever. He got to going on about how, he hunt hogs where, what I'm saying, him and his family kind of go in the summertime, shit like that. And it's just like when you start to see how things unfold, how things are unfolding in America right now, and how unsure. Prime example, COVID, bro. We ran out of toilet paper. First, like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? The whole United States ran out of toilet paper. So it's like, no, I don't think there's going to be necessarily an intentional anything, but people can be swayed. People are to be herded like cattle a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take much for people to make it into something similar to a race war where you have to survive in that type of fashion. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it. Like, yeah, there's something on the horizon. I don't believe it's a flat out race war because black people are too ingrained in America. Too many white people like us. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I personally know too many cool white people that looked out for me more than black people have. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it'll be just a flat out this versus that. But I do believe that there's a section of white people, white men specifically, who really want something like that to kick off because they have a personal vendetta. But I don't think it's strictly white versus black.
No, I don't think that. I think a lot of that is just online. I don't think it's really what people are feeling or thinking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
even if even if it was like you say, it would be different today. It's not like it's the 60s. So a lot of the white people today don't want to be associated with that type of stuff. So they're not gonna back it like
right,
they
right,
would have back then. So I don't think it would
right.
even get to that point because of that.
Yeah,
I don't think it
yeah.
ever would. I just
Um,
I just feel like
that's why I said it'd
it's
be
some people
something
that's trying to
similar.
make some money off of it. That's what it is.
I think it's both, bro. Trump is in office for a reason. Trump has a way of like like I said, people are like cattle. They're to be herded. Like people, a vast majority of people need a leader. So you can weaponize a group of people. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
Trump and Democrats have weaponized black people against Republicans for I don't know how long at
Since
this
the
point.
60s.
So you know what I'm saying? So you can weaponize a group of people and say that, you can say that black people have been voting Democrat since the 60s, but not every black person has. There's been plenty of them who haven't.
Right, right.
So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of the
When they
same
say that,
thing,
yeah,
like
they just mean like the majority.
or a lot of if they
Yeah.
got to inflate some numbers to make it
It's
sound like something. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? So I think it
that
won't
too.
ever be a real race war. It won't ever be that, but it can get close because a certain fraction of people can be weaponized, and you can put a battery in their back to kick off something that's similar.
Yeah, but would
So
it
you
be
know what I'm saying?
enough of
That's
them in today's time? Would it be enough of them?
I think it might. I think it might
Hmm.
because you got to think we thinking about, and I know you from a more rural area of America, but it's a lot more rural areas than we really think of, that
Yeah, it
we
is.
really consider as black people. especially. Like we be in the hoods in the city, and we don't really think about. I drive this. I do this expediting all across America, and I
Yeah.
drive through a lot of these little towns and these little cities. Man, it's a whole lot of these rural areas that got a whole lot of land, and you know what I'm saying. So it's a lot of people
Yeah.
kind
But
of
that
spread out in these
population,
country areas.
yeah. But then you got to look at it too. Like at least 25% of that population is not gonna be with it.
That's true. That's true. But the population. Hey, Miss Viva Zion, how you doing?
See back.
Um,
How you doing?
yeah, you right. I get what you're saying. I'm not saying it's gonna be a lot necessarily. I think it's gonna be enough to really kick something off. Again, a full out race war, no, because there's too many people on both sides who not gonna be with it. But
They tried it in
it can be
Atlanta. Did you
something.
see that with the two dudes that got killed with the Klansmen
No.
hoods on? And
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
heard one of them was like a doctor or something,
yeah,
which
they
we
they.
already knew that. But
I mean, that's why I say today's time is different. It's not gonna go the way.
yeah,
So I don't.
yeah,
I don't
it's
even
not.
think it
It's
would.
not. And we not gonna we as black people not gonna react the same way neither.
Let me tell you
It's not
something.
gonna be what it was back in the day.
The
Um,
one there's one thing that I believe will unite all black people in America, and it would be no doubt about it if they ever tried that slavery shit again, or if they ever went that route with a race war. Let me tell you something. After seeing how they reacted to Obama when he said what he said, I knew then black people can unite. It just takes a certain situation.
you're right. Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're right. You 100% right. You man, there's no debate on that one, bro. I gotta give you that one. You right on that. You right on that. I just
Now like you say, it's gonna be some that will, they got to remain how they are and think that's gonna get them favor on the other side. But as far as the
yeah.
majority go, that is one thing that will unite the black people. And that's something that they really don't want.
Well,
Do you really want these little young niggas with switches united from city to city? Like,
but see, I think we are. You're right in the mindset or the concept of the old school idea of chattel slavery.
yeah,
But
that's what
bro,
you.
let's
But
keep
today,
let's
they
keep it a
don't even
hunt,
look at what slavery really is. And it's, what I'm saying, it's a
bro.
different
We
form.
black more black men are slaves right now
More people,
than
period.
people. Period. But we talking about us right now, bro. We
That's
got to
what I'm
talk to
talking
these
about.
black.
You said black
Yeah,
men,
we
but
gotta.
black women too. Like we are
Yeah,
we have more slaves today than it was back then, and don't even realize it.
we don't even realize it because again, you pay attention to that Constitution and amendments they put in. Slavery is illegal except for or outlawed except for if you've been committed of a crime. Every time you
Yeah,
go to jail, you a slave, bro.
yeah. It was never completely
So
abolished.
slavery ain't went nowhere.
No, it was
Slavery
just
ain't went
amended.
nowhere.
They just amended
Young
it.
niggas love going to be a slave. Them niggas love going to jail. They tell on themselves in these songs to be a slave. So
That's
no, we
yeah.
can't say that. That's the
That's a
only
different
pushback I
that
got for you,
that's
bro.
that's a different that's a different way to look at it because they glorify that in the hood. They don't, but if they flat out told them that this is slavery and this is where we
They
head,
did. It's in the Constitution.
ain't nobody read the
They said
Constitution.
it.
We know that.
That's
How many
that's
other
not their
people caught
fault.
that? That's in the 14th Amendment. They ain't nobody know that. You know what I'm saying? Not too many people know that.
We learned that in school, bro.
They don't pay
They
attention to
tell
that
us to
part
our
because
face.
look how they tell you though.
I,
They tell you that it was abolished. This is when slavery ended. This is the Civil War, Lincoln, all of that bullshit. But they don't
yeah,
explain it the right way. They don't tell you
bro. Do
that
you
it
walk
was amended.
when you going to go catch a chicken because you need to eat it? Do you tell it before you come kill it that you about to come kill it
Yeah,
or that you about to come grab it?
hell yeah.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
don't
come
tell
around
it.
your
You
neck,
sneak
nigga.
up on it and you grab it. You hunt that motherfucker and you grab it. That's what they've been doing. So as far as
Of course.
what all I'm
So
saying
we
is,
gotta
as far as
educate them.
Yeah, I mean, but it been going. We've been saying this, bro. I've been hearing that since I was young. Like everybody has been known that when you go to jail, you're a slave. Slavery is abolished except for if you've been uh convicted of a crime. We know this already. So you saying how the young people, oh, if you want to galvanize and unify all of them, tell them they back in slavery. We've been telling young niggas that they going back to slavery every time they go to jail.
They
They
don't
keep
look
doing
at
that
it
shit
like that. I'm telling you, they don't look at it like that.
regardless of what they look at it like. I understand
That's
they don't
why
look
it's the
at it like that.
mentality of it. That's why I say it's different because that right there is looked at as getting you stripes, is earning you stripes in the hood. The mentality of the slavery that it would have to be for them to look at it that way is totally different. We know
That's some
that,
old school
but
shit.
they don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what this is. All of this is some old school shit. We just don't. We living in an old school mentality and a new school reality.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
That's you know what I'm saying. Like we still
Yeah.
the black community still act like we just came out of slavery 10 years ago or something.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, that's man. Look, yeah, yeah. That's sad too.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we not. That's
we
a lot
haven't
of
progressed as a people.
yeah, yeah.
Like when you like, how can I put it? Like how I see it is like the progression of even just human beings. But if you pay attention to each individual demographic of people, you see a growth pattern of that people.
Except for us.
You
You
know what I'm
right.
saying? Except for us. Like
Right.
you take, them Russian people that came in, what I want to say a year or two ago. You look at the Irish people that came in years ago, like, when they first started calling all them European countries over and saying that it's okay to come over here and build your freedom and build your wealth
Right.
and all that on
Right.
our labor. You know what I'm saying? Like each group of people have come here and progressed. The Chinese people, they don't own stores in the hood like that no more. They used to. They have progressed past that. Now it's the Middle Eastern people that's in the hood.
Yeah.
Make with all the gas stations
If
and the
the
weed
Chinese is
shops
in
and
the
shit,
hood, it's just like a restaurant or maybe a dry cleaners or something. But
or a
they
hair
never
store that
the hair
and
store.
they've been
Damn
there
so
for a
big.
while. They like a staple in the community type shit. They not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's not new Asian businesses popping up everywhere in the hood like that.
Mm.
They got their own section in the suburbs now.
Well, I'm gonna
To
tell you
go up
what it
to
is
I
too. And I noticed this. Asians are not just opening up they type of restaurants. They opening up chicken restaurants, taco restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Like they opening up different types of shit.
hold up, just give me a second, bro, because I just need to get this off my chest. Just forgive me right now because I recently found out that Louisiana chicken is ran by all Asian people.
What I tell you. My point exactly.
Have you ever been to Louisiana chicken? Diva
Yeah.
Zion, I don't know where you're from, Miss Lady, but if you've ever been to a Louisiana fried chicken, that's probably some of the best goddamn fried chicken you gonna get any damn where.
Yeah.
And it's and everyone you go to, Asian people run it.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why, bro?
Bro, you know
Why?
Williams Chicken here in Dallas, right?
Yeah.
I live by one and the black man that owned it, this was still one of the ones he owned. So I still went to it. Me and him talking
Okay.
one
Yeah.
day. And he still, he was still the owner. I was talking about marketing it for him and, doing a commercial with him. Next time I went, he had sold it to the Asian dude. That's why I say is they still owning stuff in the neighborhood. It's just they done switch what they're owning now. They starting to take over the businesses we own, other people own, or they opening it up to small franchises.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
everybody
get
is
what you're
doing it
saying.
but
I
us.
get what you're saying. Yeah, but everybody in the hood
Now
is
the gas
elevating.
stations and all of that, yeah, you right about that one.
They come in and they take a fraction of our economy and they sell
Mhm.
it to us. The Middle Eastern people, they sold up the gas stations and the hotels. Every hotel you go to got a Middle Eastern dude in the back.
Yep. Yep. And the gas
You
station
know,
nowadays, especially the
Asian
damn
people,
Valero.
yeah, Asian people taking over the food, the chicken, and because they got farms here. Keep that in mind. And they always had the plug on the hair. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
man, everybody been moving and shaking in our community, but us.
But us, everybody's profiting off of us. And I'm glad you brought
Yeah.
that up because that brings me to my next topic because it speaks on black culture. What is black culture? Because a lot of people have different definitions of it, different ways that they describe it. How do you describe black culture?
Black culture, Black American culture, and white American culture run hand in hand. There is no them without us, and there is no us, of course, obviously, without this. So it's like we, for us, it's like we tend to, unfortunately, pattern some of the shit that they do because we learned everything from them in America. So, you know, Black American culture is a bullshit, sickly derivative of slum white American culture. It's the same thing. Or, the upscale black people don't really claim a culture, so to say. They just try to weave in with the upper class, white people or whoever. Um, so unfortunately, the black culture, the hip hop culture, because okay, that's another thing. Like black culture often gets automatically grouped into hip hop culture, period. And that's not how that works. Like not every black person fuck with the hip hop culture like that. So, we have to work harder on defining what our culture is and what our culture is not, and not piggybacking off of white people and what they do, and allowing them to force certain demographics of our music to be labeled as black culture as a whole. Rap music is not black culture. It's rap, it's a hip hop culture that white people are involved in, Asian people are involved in. We started it like much everything else, but that's a culture that is multifaceted. Hip hop, black culture really doesn't have a specific definition. And that I think is a problem. And it's been a problem for a while. Back in the day, we had a culture because we was trying to get free and out of slavery and Jim Crow and oppression and all that. So I'm black and I'm proud. We had that type of brotherly love culture, but we've been divided up and fractioned off. So now it's different. Now, what is black culture is often looked at as just hip hop culture, which is not.
I think I kind of disagree with that. Some of that. Some of it I agree with, but
Okay.
some of it I disagree with. I think what you meaning is what's the linear is black history and white history, not culture. Because I tried to find something on white culture. Now, and this gonna piss some people off, but that's okay. White, there
Yeah.
is no white culture because everything they got, they stole from other cultures. You know what I'm saying? Every everything, yeah, think about it. Everything that we didn't learn from them, they learned from us. The only thing we learned was how to read and write, but that's because they came with a language we didn't speak. So we had to learn how to read and write that. I don't believe that our culture. Now what I agree with is I don't think that our culture is just hip hop culture, but I don't think that hip hop. I believe that everybody was allowed to be in hip hop because of the money that it makes, but it is not
Right.
um, anybody else's culture. But it that also goes to speak to a lot of different music genres because if you look at it, all of it would be considered black culture because we created it. Even if you go to country or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So
I don't
black
know,
cul-
bro.
black culture to
Go ahead.
me has to do with like the food that we eat, the music, not only just the music we listen to, how we dress, everything, the fashion, the whole, you know what I'm saying? All of that in one, because we are the leading source for all of it. We set the trends for everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to fashion, if we wearing it, they wearing it. You know what I'm saying? When it
Yeah.
comes to music, if we
Mhm.
listening to it, they listening to it. Whatever it is. So
Mhm.
when it comes to black culture, I believe that we are the only ones that's not benefiting from it. And that's the problem. Everybody else is. Everybody benefiting
Mm.
from black culture but us. Now you have some that might, become millionaires or whatever, but are they really? Because you've seen how easy that could be taken away. You,
Right.
you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So to
Right.
me, I get what you're saying though, as far as defining it, but I think it comes back to, I mean, like even with religion, look at how most black people are Baptists. Most black the thing with the but the thing that I don't like about it is how everybody try to relate it to the struggle. And that's where the problem comes in. And that's what I think.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that in that sense right there.
Um. I, I can agree with most of that, bro. The only still pushback I give is only because, I had this real estate appraisal journey, because I'm real big on real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm a licensed appraiser in the state of Texas, a trainee, but nonetheless, I still have to learn all the aspects of it. And I had an older white guy as a mentor, about in his mid 50s or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Cool dude, very cultured, very into music, and his passion for music has kind of drew him into black culture a little bit. So he was a little seasoned, like, you know what I'm saying. Me and him could talk about some shit.
Yeah.
And he one time, man, he broke down the parallels with slum the slums of Europe before they got to America, and how that parallels black culture in America. Like, yeah, we do things differently, but when you're being completely honest about slavery, we didn't learn. Those were the only people we learned from. He went to break down all these similarities, and there's a guy who speaks to a lot of this. I can't think of his name right now. I'll make sure I bring it up next time. But he speaks to, that parallel between the what's called the white trash of Europe that got shipped over, to America, and that thought process, that mindset, and how you see the separation between the upscale whites and the lower southern whites. That separation on how they act, how they are. It's the same parallel in Black America. We just haven't caught on to that difference and accepted each other at those differences. We look at the the black people with money as bougie and, Uncle Tom's and all this other stuff. But there are two separate classes, money wise, when you get into that. And so now Black America has been conditioned into that more so. And again, when you look at how some of the slums of the Black community live and how the slums of the white community live, they're parallel. It's almost identical. Almost identical. The music is different, but it has the same concept a lot of the time. The food is different things like that, but overall, it has a lot of the same concept, a lot of the same residue, because we got it from the same places. So, but at this point, that's all I'm saying is, like, black culture is a direct parallel to white culture, because we don't. That's all we had to go off of. We didn't keep our African culture, whatever that was.
That's because it
We
was
had to
stripped.
learn it off something.
But
One
that's
hundred
why I say
percent.
we didn't really have to learn it. We was forced to because of how
Yeah,
we
same
were.
difference. Yeah,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't say that. That's why I wouldn't say that they have a culture. I don't think there is a white culture. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you
Because
better believe it is.
oh,
Red, like, not to disrespect nobody on here, but that term rednecks and
that,
hillbillies and
that's
stuff like
that's
that, that's
but
a culture of people.
that's not a no, because then you would say a culture of people is niggas and black people.
You don't think that's a separate culture?
No, no, that's a mindset. That's a mentality. I don't think that's culture.
Okay, okay.
Because all they have to do is change their mindset and then they become part of the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, I mean, you change your mindset and you anything at any point. At that point, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like
so but you
nowadays, if you
can't
change your
change your
mindset, you can
culture.
go from man to woman.
But the culture don't change. This dude here say,
You know what I'm saying? If we trying to be technical, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays,
right.
if it cross your mind that way, you can be a whole woman. So a culture thing is a mindset anyway. A culture is just a mindset.
It's a
If you
lifestyle, ain't it?
if you if you are black and you're born in Asia, you're gonna come up with an Asian culture because that's what you're taught. So it's just I personally I believe it's pretty much the same thing. It's a
Where,
mindset.
yeah, we
It's a
probably
way
say
of
the
being
same.
raised and a way of being brought up.
Yeah,
So I don't know, but the black culture, I think we've done a poor job at defining it. I know that.
we've done a poor job at, yeah, and making sure that
And
it's
sticking
shown
to
what
it.
it really is. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
we
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 we we've done a poor job at defining our own culture and not letting other people do it.
we fuck. This is where we messed up. We've let other people define what it is instead of us defining what it is. That's
100%. Let me turn this
yeah,
light off.
and
There
now a
we
lot
go.
of people just go with that because they it's the music.
Yeah. Music is a part of the culture, which brings me back to the whole, you can have a separate culture in the same group of people. So, hood culture is different from suburban culture, no matter what color you are,
Today, I
especially today.
don't know.
Especially today.
I don't know because
Suburban
they had all
culture
the
back in the
suburban.
40s
They
may have
want to
been
be like
different.
the hood. You know what I'm saying?
A mindset. My point.
That's why I say, but
Yeah.
they don't change the culture because the culture don't have. They can eat what they want to eat or live how they want to live. They just change their mindset. But you still, but
Well, go ahead. Go
so
ahead.
what
Go
do
ahead.
you consider? Okay, let's say Asian culture,
What do I consider Asian culture?
their food, what
The
else?
food,
The way they dress,
their music,
their
how
fashion.
they dress, their mannerisms, what
That's
slangs and all that different type of stuff.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm
all
saying.
that.
But
I
you
think
don't look
all
at
that
them
encompasses.
separate. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't gonna. All Asians pretty much, unless you're talking about like Japanese and then Chinese, that's different. But we not different nationalities like that. Now I can see black culture and African culture. That would be different to me. But as far as
I I think it all can be broke down into smaller pieces. Yes, there's a bigger general culture, but it can be still fractioned off. Just like if you're talking about any culture of any race of people, you can be broken down into different cultures of those same people. There are some people who only listen to gospel. I mean, there's some people who only listen to reggae or only listen to whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different
that's a choice.
um a choice. I mean, but it's
That's a,
still the culture that you're choosing to be a part of. You can choose whatever culture you want
but
to be
that
a
would
part
be
of after a
but
while.
gospel music, hip hop, R&B, all of that is part of black culture.
Is it? Because it's white gospel artists too.
Yeah, but that's different though. It's different
How?
because they have their own genre.
It's still under gospel.
No, but what I'm saying,
So
yeah,
that's what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
though,
Like
but I'm saying
it's more
like
than just black and
you
white.
you
It's more
it's
so
the way that they sing it is what makes it different because you a white gospel singer is not gonna sound the same as a black gospel singer. So the culture of that is why I'm saying,
they can though.
how,
You know who Bobby Caldwell is?
yeah, but he don't really. I mean, he don't really sound black.
What? Oh, you wow for that.
Nah, he
Bobby
don't really
Caldwell
sound
sounds
black.
like a brother.
Nah. You can hear you can
But you
distinguish
have
the difference.
people. You have people who can sound like somebody else though. So, but I don't know, bro. I think that it's not just black and white. I think it's a gray area to it. I think there's, it's like a compare and contrast. What is that thing that we learned in school where you draw the circles and that one circle in the middle kind of encompasses both? I think it's more so that like people are not just one or the other. Like I'm black, but I may associate with this thing from this culture. I may associate with that thing from that culture. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
I,
just
I
simply
just
hip hop culture.
Yeah, I just don't feel like no other. I mean, like, I don't know. To me, it's just that I can't compare nothing else to black culture because of the way that it dominates the world and the way, you know what I'm saying? Like everything is based off of black culture. It starts with that, and then it branches out from there. The hell was it? Is you?
It was disconnected from my truck. I don't know why it does that, but yeah, it takes a while. But anyway, yeah, you good, bro. But yeah, black culture has been the pioneer
For a lot of
to a lot
things.
of things.
Yeah, it
For
has.
mostly everything. Literally life. We're the first people on the planet.
That's
Like
why I
where
don't think
black
there's no
culture is the
comparison.
original everything. So, you know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying. I think again, everything can be fractioned off and broken down. I believe that Black American culture, because Black Americans don't have the same culture as Africans, right?
That's what I'm
So
saying.
Black Americans have a very unique stance because because we're so parallel with white people. Like I think because of the parallel, what we've learned, the culture that we've created for ourselves stems from that. Like I had a with an ex girlfriend about black sororities and fraternities. When was there black Greeks? You know what I'm saying?
You said you you,
Like
you said when?
when was there such thing as the black Greek mythology?
That's where it
Like
stemmed from.
does it
Yeah, everything can. Yeah, hey,
in America?
Who do you think taught Socrates
We
and
taught them that. We we taught them everything they knew from back then. I give you that
you
100%.
talking
But I'm
about
saying in
today?
America, as recent as HBCUs. We're not talking about from when we went up to Europe and taught them, civilized them and taught them how to bathe and taught them everything, math and everything. Yes, originally everything came from us. Yes, but I'm saying as Black Americans, we talking about from slavery to this point. Black Greek mythology was not a thing. That it wasn't a concept. We were piggybacking off of the Greek sororities and fraternities of the white schools. That's where we started it from. We said, "Oh, they have that over there. We can do our own version of that." So that's what I'm saying. Black culture is a derivative of the white culture. We just do it better because, I don't want to sound radical or no shit, but we just better at the shit, at everything. I feel like personally, sorry. But you know what I'm saying? So yes, black culture is its own thing, but it runs parallel with white culture, white America, even though if you want to date before that, it comes from us anyway. So I get what you're saying. So you want to just leave it at
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
But black American culture specifically is what I'm saying. Black
Yeah,
American
that's
culture.
what I'm saying. Cause every
Yeah.
black is different. Cause you got the Caribbeans and
Yeah.
their culture is totally different. You even got
Right.
black
Right.
Hispanics that what I'm saying, they don't know
Right.
English. That trip me out. But their culture is different.
Yeah.
I worked with one dude that at one time, look, I go up to him. I had just started, you know what I'm saying? I see a black dude. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I go up to him like, what's up,
Yeah.
bro? He speaking English. I was like, what the
¿Qué? ¿Qué?
yeah, I'm
Yeah, bro.
like,
I hate
what?
when they hit me with that.
But he was
Yeah,
cool though. We
yeah,
ended up figuring out how to communicate. Shit, he put me on Bad Bunny and everything. He had me
yeah,
listening to all
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
shit.
For sure, for sure.
Prank gone wrong. Next topic. A high school senior has been killed in a TikTok prank gone wrong in Virginia. High school senior shot dead while filming a TikTok door prank at 3 a.m. in the morning. I saw the video where they had like the hoodie on. I don't know if that was the same video, but it was like 3 in the morning and they went to the dude back door. Uh I don't understand. These TikTok pranks is it's about time to
They
put
getting
an
out of
end to it.
control, bro.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
done
they getting out of
because they
control.
getting stupid now. They just doing stupid
Right,
shit.
right.
It's
It was
getting
a
done.
it was a prank I saw a long time ago. Where this young guy had smeared something on this older guy's car. It was like a real expensive car, like a Lamborghini Ferrari. It's one of them exotic European cars. And he came out and tased dude. And it was a whole big story behind it and all that. But yeah, man, these pranks, man, like back in the day, bro, we used to call on the phone and harass people, order pizza and send it somewhere, or
Sending
sit
somebody,
in
yeah.
next door and watch them argue or something like that. Knock on the door, one ding dong ditch. But nowadays, it's getting so crazy with some of this stuff. It's like we gonna have to really start uh censoring and being, putting real restrictions on, or not, and just let it play out like it did. But the downfall is, didn't dude that shot him get in trouble for it? Like, he in
Yeah,
jail
I
now,
mean,
ain't
that's what I didn't. That's what at some point, when does self defense work for us? Because
he? You
remember
are
when the old white man shot the people and got away with it? It's same situation, but they wasn't even doing a prank. They was just knocking to find, I think, like directions or something.
hear me out, bro. Slavery is abolished, except for if you've been convicted of a crime.
Yeah,
It's a plot. It's a trap. It's a target. It's all of that. Black men, we still slaves. They say 1 in 3 black men will go to jail, will become a slave in America. Not maybe, not possibly.
yeah.
One
That's why
in
they
three
brought them
black
private
men
prisons in the '90s. That was for our ass.
created a whole network of these damn things. Have
That's
you
the
ever
new
been to jail,
plantations.
bro? Have you ever been to jail for an extended period of time and they get to shipping you from this place to that place for no fucking reason?
Yeah, I hit
Man, come
7
on.
different units. Yeah,
You hear me? Come on, bro. It's crazy. So yeah, we never gonna get real equality, real fair treatment, none of that until we are respected in our own right, and we have our own pool in these systems.
yeah,
Because now it's not in our face no more. It's a system
yeah,
that does it for them. So it's,
yeah,
they can hide behind it. So we
yeah,
have to come up with our own systems and be part of these systems that do this to us. Otherwise, we're going to always lose. We
yeah.
can't keep screaming at the system saying y'all ain't shit and then not doing nothing about it, knowing they not shit.
We definitely gonna have to change our mindset about how we view things. It's when it comes to the system, because that's where everything is. It don't work for us. So we need to start
Yeah,
putting people in place in the system that's for us, just like they do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
stop telling our kids it's bad to be a police officer. Stop telling them it's bad to be a judge or a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? We need to start growing them up, learning that so they can start
And
infiltrating,
grooming them into doing that.
grooming
Yeah.
them.
I
Yeah,
had just I I'd had this idea, bro, to really put, and this is a business idea I really want to try in my old neighborhood that I grew up in. Like, I really want to put together a security a security company that patrols the hood. Like,
yeah.
you get these men and women from the hood, pay them a salary to patrol their own
They all
communities.
able to protect their. You know what though? I'm gonna say this: if see the black community really got their own army, and we don't even realize it. But if they wouldn't looked at each other like ops, we have 4 branches that could be our own military base, and we don't even need nobody to protect the hood if they just protected their own hoods, and that's the Crips,
Right.
Bloods, folks, Vice Lords. You got Marines, Navy, Army, and what's the other one? Air Force. So we
Yeah.
already got our own, but the thing is, they beefing with each other. But if they stop looking at each other like that, and even if you have to just protect your own territory. But no women and
It's
no
just
kids in your hood should be affected. Nobody should have you know what I'm
right.
saying? You protect your own
It's
neighborhood.
displaced anger.
Yeah,
It's displaced anger.
yeah,
Like every group of people got their crash outs. Who's with the shit, and ours is just crashing out on each other because of displaced anger. We don't galvanize them young radicals to point them in the right direction. The
yeah.
one thing that the US government is great at doing is pointing their radicals in the right direction.
That's true.
So we just got to be better at that. We got to grab our own little people, our own little dudes from 5 and 6, them little badass little boys that can't be controlled. Don't
Yeah,
discredit them. Don't discard them like they don't matter. You have to use that aggression, that energy for something positive. You can't just dismiss them like they don't exist. Because if
true.
you do, they end up in our community as the worst ones. They gonna be adults at some point. So you got to grab them early. You got to grab the young crash outs early and start putting that dumb aggression towards something productive for our own people.
Yeah, yeah. Because if not, shit, all we doing is steady falling
We
behind.
just gonna keep we just gonna keep crashing out on each other.
Yeah. Uh, did you see about the white South Africans being brought to the U.S.? Um,
I seen that bullshit.
they have been granted refugee status by the Trump administration. Um, now let's see, a flight carrying a group of 59 white South Africans granted refugee status by the Trump administration arrived in the United States on Monday. They were the first people to be granted refugee status by the Trump administration and not expected to be the last.
Uh-huh.
Mm. They telling you it's more
Man,
coming. And
these
don't
people
give it
they doing
this
what they
this
want to
this what
do.
this what I don't understand though, bro. This is what kills me. They just did these Hispanics dirty. Got them out, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden you back now you did this whole campaign talking about no immigrants and you getting rid of all the immigrants. And the very first thing you do is bring in some
Wait a
immigrants.
second, wait a second,
Your
wait a second.
choice.
The thing is, didn't Trump say he didn't want immigrants from shithole countries? Ain't Africa one of them shithole countries that he was talking about?
I guess
What
not
you
South
mean?
Africa, because you know South Africa is ran by Britain, so it's the best one out of all of them. It's what they consider.
Man, or it's because Elon Musk and a lot of his cabinet members is from South Africa.
That's
That's
what it
what it
boils down
is.
to. Elon Musk, David Sachs, and Peter Thiel are all white South Africans. And they came up with this lie to say that these people was over there genocide and all them fake ass crosses that was done by AI in that video. Had all them people sharing it and shit. But the thing
Yeah.
is, when you talk to people that's actually over there, they say it's a complete lie. And then when I
It's the
looked up,
exact opposite.
the president over there passed that law called the Expropriation Act, where he reversed that Natives Land Act and he's giving the land back to his rightful owners, or he's just taking away from people that stole land back in the day.
Right.
I didn't know,
Right.
bro, that
Yeah.
it's only 7% of white Africans, white South Africans, and they own 70% of the land. That's
They
crazy.
own a lot of that. They own most of it, bro. And they area is the only ones that's developed. The rest of the areas that's not the suburbs is so rent. You think the hoods in America is bad,
No,
bro? They
yeah,
don't have streets.
yeah. They ain't
They
got
don't have
lights.
sidewalks. They
Yeah.
don't have running water consistently, bro.
No, a lot of them
So,
don't.
man, how I see it, bro, is again, I don't even see why Black America is surprised or upset or any of that. These people been doing what they want for they people for I don't know how long. They just been telling us that it's wrong to do something for our own people. But they been doing that. Then Russian people got here when they was fighting with I'm sorry, Ukraine. When
Yeah,
Ukraine was fighting with Russia, they
yeah.
came over here with no problem. And then
No.
directly after that, then it was the migrants from South America that was the problem. Then all
You
of a
know why?
sudden, the people from who was that? The Jewish people got attacked by Hamas or something like that. And all of a sudden, we had a whole bunch of money and aid and they can come over here and all that. And you know what I'm saying? So they've been showing you that they gonna do whatever they need or want to do for their own people and make up whatever lie and tell y'all whatever. It's man, it's like having a kid and you do some slick shit over here that you don't really want your kid to know that
Right.
that you was being contradictory. But if they find out you really don't give a fuck because they a child and they gonna stay in the child place, that's
Yeah.
how they treat us, bro. They don't give a fuck about our opinion, us not liking what they did.
No, no, no.
Okay, okay, a bunch of y'all gonna sit on the internet and say that we was wrong for letting these people over here. Okay, now what? And we giving them government assistance. Okay, now
And
what?
what? And see, but the thing, and that's the problem. Ain't they just going that's why they gave us social media, because it's a fake reality, and you can go there and get all your little complaining out, and it ain't gonna matter to nothing that's going on in real life.
Not a bit, bro. Not a
But it'll
bit.
get you
But
canceled if you don't say what people like. You know what I'm saying? They can do that because you. That's only if you're making money off of social media. Now, if you ain't worried
that's
about,
only if you're making money off of it.
yeah,
Exactly. So we
so,
just have to be intelligent enough to navigate it and use it the same way they do. We can use this internet to connect our people from Africa and all everywhere in in the world, in America, whatever. We can use this internet for the same thing and give our own people the same benefit of the doubt that we give that everybody else give each other.
yeah, I agree. I just think that the thing is we gotta care. We
Yeah.
gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get it to where it's a movement. I keep saying that, but that's the only way I think
Yeah.
people gonna care.
And I was gonna bring that up again. Like you always say, it got to be a movement, and you 100% right, bro. It got to be a movement to where the majority of people who are the cattle, who need to be led, we have to get in a position to where we have the resources and everything to lead them properly.
Yeah, yeah. That's what it's gonna take.
Because we can all we can do is get on here and talk. But if we don't have the resources to employ these people to say no, don't do what they said do what we said do, because we got those resources to make sure that you good. Until we can get to that point, it's not gonna matter.
Yeah, yeah. That's
So it's
yeah,
all about resources. The people who are it, who have the right mind, us, the people who tap in stuff like this, who really want to push forward. We have to work overtime, double time, triple time to combat what's going on.
yeah. That yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But you know, a lot of that I feel like not our fault, but that was our grandparents' fault and our parents' fault, because when they owned the businesses and when they owned everything, the land and all, they sold it. And you know what I'm saying? So instead of keeping, oh, it was stripped or however, however they did it, because a lot of it was stolen too, especially when you talk about the bank and that we had and all of that. But
Hmm.
um I just feel like, man, oh shit, hold on. It's cut off. Go ahead, go ahead. Let me cut this back on.
All right. I'm gonna share this to my Facebook to get people tapped in real quick also. But but yeah, bro, we just gotta get better at galvanizing our people
Damn,
and moving our
the whole
people
thing it just shut
forward.
off on me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's all it's gonna take. Oh, my whole laptop, and then I don't know, my TV is shut off and everything. Just like your light. But yeah, it's gonna be tricky, but I believe it could be accomplished. I think we can unite once we get a movement like this started. But the thing is, the people that started or whoever gonna be the face of it, it's gonna be hell. You know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a lot of people that don't want that to happen. That's the last thing they want to happen, is to have black
Yeah,
people start
yeah,
uniting. But if you do it in a way to where it's not something that seems negative or positive, I mean, make it seem more positive, like just a positive movement. Say you just have
yeah,
something, you want to start a movement where people move into our one city, and you know what I'm saying? Like, but you include everybody, but your priority is to
yeah.
better the community.
We gotta. as Black Americans, we are in a position as black well any black people in any European country, but especially in America because we have more of a rebellious mindset and a rebel mindset.
Hold on. Viva
We
Zion say, I'm not a 90s baby. I'm an 80s baby.
what you say? Hold on,
He
let's tap
said,
in
I
with
can
him.
tell y'all some 90s babies. I ain't. I'm an 80s baby. I think it's safe for us to operate on.
I mean, I was born in '89, so I'm gonna hold on to them '80s as hard as I can.
You the last, on the
I don't care.
last leg,
I'm the
man.
the last of the real, bro. I barely got in there, but I'm claiming it. I don't give a damn.
Cause once it hit that 9-0, man, everything changed for them. It
It's
was different.
different. It's different. I don't care. I'm 6 months. I barely made it by 6 months. You hear me? So hey, it is what it is. But yeah, bro, we gotta be strategic. We know these things. Like I
We
said,
have
as
to
Black
be.
Americans, seeing what's going on and knowing how they work and how they implement plans and things like that, we have to be able to catch on and start implementing the same way they do. That's the only way
Yeah,
we're gonna win.
yeah,
So we gotta be smart. We gotta have a face, but then have a network that supports that face. That the people that's in that network are not to be seen and known. Too many black people want to be known and want to be famous.
yeah.
And that's not how we gonna get out this mess.
No, no. Everybody ain't gonna be able to be the face. And it's gonna have to be
Everybody can't be the
roles that's
face.
everybody gonna have to understand that they have a role to play. And your role
Yeah,
might not be in front of the camera. You might not be good speaking. You know what I'm saying? You might not be good in front of a
exactly.
crowd of people,
Exactly.
but you good at doing this behind the scenes. So everybody
Right.
that's gonna have to be understood
Yeah.
from the start. You're gonna have to
That
have different
and
leaders at different levels.
yeah. And
Everybody ain't gonna be able to
that's
be a
one
leader.
thing that black people struggle with because we like
That's
fathers in the home, we like a certain structure, being okay with accepting a certain structure. It don't matter what you want to do. And this is something that, I'll
true.
be preaching at the ladies about when it comes to stuff like that. Like, I understand what you want to do, but what needs to happen is something separate. And so, I'll be having these conversations and it'd be like, you know, my child should be able to do what they want to do in their life. It sounds good, but
Yeah,
young kids should be groomed. Young kids are to be groomed into something. Put a path in front of them and teach them what they need. There are certain things that you have to be able to do. You have to do these things.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be this is what I want to do that makes me happy. Like as human beings, we need some type of structure to make us happy and to fulfill us in a real way. If we're just left out to be random animals, we're not going to be fulfilled.
yeah.
So we got to get better at being disciplined and being able to be told what to do. Black people cannot be told what to do.
It
If we
depends
get
on who
offended
it
at it,
is. If they see, that's one thing that I've learned about doing these videos and stuff that I be doing because I talk to a lot of people, especially in the comments. They don't mind that. They just you just gotta know what you're talking about. You can't come to them with no bullshit. That's the difference.
you don't know what's bullshit. A lot of black people don't know what's bullshit and what's not. So
No,
if you come
they
and
what I'm saying is you can it's a certain approach you gotta have with different types of black people because everybody, they different, especially where they was raised. So if it's
yeah,
somebody that can relate to all of them on one level, then I believe they would choose that person. But the thing is finding somebody that would want to be
yeah,
put in
some
that
of them
position.
cultures are direct. Yeah, some of them cultures, some of them mindsets are direct opposition of each other. That's what I meant by fractioning off black culture. I understand that there's a such thing as a black culture, but we are separated by a lot of different cultural aspects of life. Like, it's going to be difficult for somebody to go speak to the black people in the suburbs and go speak to the blacks in the hood, in the slums, in the ghetto.
No, no.
Those are two
Yeah.
completely separate mindsets. One
But
person, I don't think, can really do that.
yeah, yeah, I could do that because I did it all my
You think
life.
so?
I grew up in an
Okay.
advanced I was in all the advanced classes, but I could also relate to the hood because that's where I came from. So I know how to switch it. It's people out there that can do it. It could
Well, code
easily be
switching.
done.
I guess that's what that is. It's code switching. When
Yeah,
you
it's just
gotta
adapting to
when you
where
working
you at
on
and adapting to your
yeah.
environment. You,
Okay. Oh, okay. You're right about that. You're right. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
that would be. But the thing is, it would be having to find somebody that's willing to be that face. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Because they gonna get attacked. It's good. It's gonna come from
Hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta have and I think that's where we fall off as black people too, is because yeah, the people who make it in those like the people who make it to Congress, the black people who make it in politics and the judges and stuff like that who have the power to do stuff, we didn't support them. We didn't back them in no way.
That's
We
true.
didn't look at, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
That's
we
true.
didn't, we got to get better at mending that, you know what I'm saying? And bringing those two sides together.
We have to
Like,
stop
not enough.
looking at one side like because like if you talk a certain way or if you act a certain way, they call it acting white. But you just pronouncing
Yeah.
your words correctly and using the correct, pronunciate. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's what we have to change because
Yeah.
that's also a division. That's a separation in a
Yeah.
mindset because you don't want
Yeah.
somebody growing up. A lot of the times, bro, when I was in school, I was the only black person in a lot of my classes. And I was wondering why I
Mm.
couldn't be in class with some of my homeboys, my friends. And I was looking
Right.
at it
Right.
different back then. I was wanting to be in class
Yeah.
with, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
I didn't understand the severity of me being where I was at and the difference in
Yeah.
it. Because I didn't, I'm young. I'm like, man, why I can't be in class with my own boys? And I see all them talking about how
Right.
they having fun in class, and then I'm in this class and I'm just sitting back with, you know.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah. But that form that molds you, like man, adversity. Human beings need adversity because that molds you, and that typically provides you with such a different and better viewpoint on things
yeah,
when you have that ability to to identify in whatever aspect in whatever way with multiple different kind of backgrounds and cultures and ways of viewing life, like you growing up as one of the as being from the hood but then being immersed amongst all these white children, like that was probably hell for you as a kid. But what you got from that, the tools that you learned from that, how you can implement what you learned in life nowadays,
yeah,
like you probably wouldn't want to change that because people from the
no,
hood who don't have no other frame of reference, they
no.
can't do what you do.
No,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
you're
So
right. You're right about that. That because it does give you a different type of skill set, if you want to call it that. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
talk a certain
Being
way
able to
now,
code switch, yeah.
because I talk to my people and to relate to my people. But I know how to switch it up, and I know how to broaden my
Where
vocabulary.
we
You know what
you
I'm
know what
saying?
I'm saying? We met in a call center, bro. That's where I met you at. You know
Exactly.
what that's like
We
when you
know.
gotta talk a
Yeah.
certain way and you gotta use your vernacular and you gotta
You
use
one
your
of them
yes,
ones that
ma'am,
can, you know how
absolutely.
to, you
You
know
know
what
what
I'm
I'm saying?
saying? So
Yeah.
it's
I
plenty of
learned
us
how to
out
code
there.
switch early.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My great grandmother, God rest her soul, bro, and that's how I was able to identify that with you, is because man, I grew up in a similar fashion, kinda. Like my great grandmother was a school teacher and she was very strict on education.
Okay.
So, growing up, I was the last child that she raised because, my mom was young, stuff like that. So, but man, I used to hate when she would have a ruler, a long ass bitch. She named it the Board of Education. If you play games, you gonna learn today, my nigga. Like she didn't play no game.
Yeah.
And if
It's
you
it.
use slang or slurred or talk to some stupid shit, like I was forced to use proper English. And a lot of my friends when I was young, like, you know what I'm saying, I could talk proper when, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, but a lot of my family is from Oklahoma. Shout out Oklahoma City. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take the chip this year. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, I don't know if
um,
they're gonna get past Minnesota now.
I don't
Ant
want to hear
Man,
that, man.
Ant Man looking like this might
SGA,
be his year.
SGA. But okay, I ain't gonna go too far off topic. But
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like when I would go from up here with her in Kansas City, where I had to make sure I spoke properly, I had to set a table, I had to learn these different things. When
right,
I go down to my daddy people down in Oklahoma in the hoods in the country, I speak, I'm proper, I'm uppity, I'm kind of, different to them. So, spending my summers down there with them in Oklahoma is like I had to learn how to do both. I had to learn how to get along with my hood cousins in Oklahoma and still come back and be able to talk to my great grandmother like I got some sense.
right,
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel you on that, bro. And it's so important. I'm so glad I learned that. Because although, I have my own specific mindset, I have the ability to blend in if I need to
exactly.
in these different rooms. I can speak with clear, precise English. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So people don't automatically look at me and treat me a certain way. So,
yeah.
all praise to the Most High for
Because
that.
when they hear how you speak, they gonna know. That's how they assess you. You know, when you go into them certain type of rooms and in those type of meetings.
Yeah,
I'm starting to have a lot of those meetings now, and I'm starting to see, the difference in the type of people
yeah,
that you're dealing with. It,
yeah,
it it's yeah. She say,
for sure.
no, you don't need somebody to be the face with anything because the face wants to be worshipped. I I don't know. I don't think the face would want to be worshipped. Yeah, I mean,
The face
you
wants to be
have some now.
compensated
That's they would. I mean, they would have to be because
for what they gonna go through.
yeah, they would have to be. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That
yeah,
that would be off top. They family taken care of
yeah,
just in case. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're gonna jump out
yeah.
there for us like that, we gotta make sure they taken care
Right.
of.
We got to look out for them. Yeah, and that's a problem. Like we want all these politicians, we want the president, we want all these people to come jump out and say, "Hey, I'm gonna look out for black people," but then we're not gonna do nothing on the back end that they need us to do. We
Well, the
don't
thing
vote for
is,
them.
the thing is,
Go ahead.
when it comes to that situation, we don't even have any demands that we've given. That's on a united front. What's up, Marissa? She back too.
Oh yeah, hey,
We don't even get. They don't even know what black people want. If they were to give us anything, we don't have any
right,
kind of like united type of list. You know what I'm saying? That we could give them that we all have agreed
right,
on that we want. So how can they give us
right.
anything right now?
We just in the background screaming and complaining about shit
Screaming about reparations. That's the only thing we fucking scream about. And if you
with
look
no
at the
structure
history,
to none of it.
no. But if you look at the history of that, they've already given reparations. They're not gonna do it again. And I told somebody this. Look, so I had this lady on TikTok comment on one of my videos, and she was talking about reparations, and I told her that, and she said, "Well, I went and looked up about reparations. I haven't seen anywhere where they giving it to us." I said, "Go look up the story of Sarah Rector." And you'll figure out then that's where you find out that they gave reparations to the kids of the slave, the ones that were freed slaves. They didn't give it to the actual freed slaves. And what they did was put a trustee, they made them appoint a white trustee over their money. So they were stealing their money back. With WDWEB, the boy, whatever his name is, from the
Yeah, yeah.
NAACP, the
Uh-huh. I know who that
NAACP.
is.
He's the one that sued. He contacted this judge, and I forgot where it was. I want to say like Kentucky or somewhere like that. You know what I'm saying? Just saying somewhere like
Yeah.
that. He had him go check it out. So the judge go find out that the living conditions that Sarah them was in, there's no way they were supposed to been living like that, and they got that type of money. So he ended up
Mhm.
winning and getting all them kids their money back and the land. But what the
Okay.
government do is move them to the fucked up land with all the rocks and all the, you know what I'm saying? So they already had gave
Oh.
reparations, but how they got it all back was through that trust fund. And then that's when they came with property tax and started, and that's how they got the land back. See,
Well, see that shouldn't count then. And I'm sure
it's it,
because
but that's why they count it though. You know what I'm saying? They count it.
I've heard of this seat at the United Nations or something like that. Now I'm learning more about the United Nations, and I'm
Yeah.
learning that not every country is a part of this United Nations.
Okay.
So you know what I'm saying. So you got to be careful with this
That's
whole
true.
United Nations talk. But if I believe if Black Americans can somehow galvanize and present themselves uh in that United Nations,
Let me ask you this: who are the
yeah,
main countries of the United Nations? Like the
European countries like Britain, United States, Russia, or France, them.
so is it just about every
I'm
country?
pretty sure it's
Wasn't
more.
it wasn't it like 5 to 7 countries that attacked us? Remember
Uh,
that it was Spain,
Asia
Asia, France.
and somewhere in the Middle East.
Yeah,
France, I don't think has ever attacked America directly. Now, through the world wars, maybe in some weird way, but I think that's where the United
no,
Nations
France
came from.
attacked from New Orleans. That's who owned New Orleans. That part right there, the New Orleans Texans. That was France.
Right. So that
Spain attacked California. Uh,
yeah, that's before. That's when they was trying to establish America. Like since then, the United Nations came way after. I think like in the
but
40s
what
or
I'm
50s or
saying is,
60s
I'm
or some shit.
relating it to those same countries that attacked us from the beginning, that started the whole when they took over us. Those are the same.
Okay.
Are those the same countries that run the United Nations? If you know what I'm saying, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
same
It
countries
is.
that attacked us, they damn sure ain't
Mm.
gonna be for us if those are the same countries that run the United Nations.
Well, it's a difference though because Black America is a very specific demographic of people
No, not just
in
Black
America.
America. I'm saying Black people out globally because they
Oh,
attacked everywhere.
okay. Okay,
They didn't just
okay. I
attack us;
get
they
what you're
attacked Africa
saying.
too. Look, I mean, they colonized
Yeah.
Africa. So are
Yeah,
those the
nah,
same
they ain't
countries?
doing that.
Are those the same
Yeah, it
countries?
is.
That's
It
what
is. Yeah,
you
it
you know
is.
you
It
see what
is.
I'm saying? So
Yeah.
ain't
Mm-hmm.
that kind of ironic how it's the exact same countries that colonized us are the ones that run the United Nations?
Yep. Yep.
We'll
That's
never
why
have
they
an
created it.
advantage.
Never, ever, ever, ever. That's why, and we still trying to beg and fight to be a part of the United, like Africa. I'm saying, like for Americans, we have a. I feel like we have a different plight as far as Americans, we can get our reparations. I know you said there's something different, so I haven't learned about that yet. So I'll dig more into that. But as Black Americans, we have one position. As Africa, they have a completely separate position. To where, as Africa, why are you begging to be a part of the United Nations that is the ones that's responsible for colonizing you to begin with?
That's
Why
the
are you begging
exactly.
your oppressors to be a part of them? What I
Yeah,
feel like should happen is Africa, Brazil, and India should have their own union just like they do.
yeah,
Because those are the three major countries or continents, rather, that are not a part of the United Nations: Brazil, Africa, and India. If those three continents came together and unified, bro, that's the colored, that's the melanated people right there.
yeah, yeah.
But we so busy begging to be a part of the United Nations that they just keep fucking with us because we want to be a part of them, so they're gonna keep playing with us. We can't expect to win begging to be a part of their game.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that knowing that these are the people that got us in the position that we in, not saying that that's keeping us in it today, but the position that we are in globally, they put us there. But yet we still want to be a part of that. Why do you think that is?
We brainwashed.
Mm,
They separated us to such a degree. Everything you can think of, whether it's light skin, dark skin, tall, short, big nose, big booty, little booty. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter. This side, that side, Crip blood, whatever it is, they just look for ways to cut and divide and cut and divide and cut and divide to where we don't like each other. So we don't have time to fight who's fucking with us because you got more money than me, or you got a car that I want, or you
Yeah.
from the other side of the street, or you went to a different school, or you like a different team, or just a bunch of dumb shit, or we want to talk about gorillas and fighting 100 men. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just they created a system and they just throw traps out, like back to back to back. Whatever trap they can come up with, they set it and throw it out. Set it, throw it out. There's many traps as you can set, the more game that you end up catching. So
Yeah.
that's all it is, bro. They divided us down to so small fractions of people, tribes and all that. Like I heard that even the term tribe is not a word that we knew in Africa until the Europeans came. We didn't we
Right.
didn't have tribes,
Right.
and that fractioned it off into little bitty groups of people. Why are small tribes fighting amongst the same land? Why? Bloods and Crips fighting over blocks, 2 blocks from each other.
Yeah.
Why? That's what happened to us.
Yeah. It was done purposely to keep us divided, but I believe that's what they talk
Absolutely.
about when they
The greatest
speak
plan of
about.
all time, bro.
Yeah.
The greatest plan devised of all time. Go into a land, conquer them as best you go into there, hit them with the religion first, make them feel inferior subconsciously, then go in and attack them and conquer them, and then just continue to divide them and make them hate each other.
Yeah.
It's been working for centuries now.
Yeah.
It's been like 500 years at this point, 600 years, and we ain't figured it out yet. We still getting our ass beat. 600 years? Come on now, god damn.
We
These
ain't.
motherfuckers ain't that. And it pisses me off because it makes them feel so great, like they so much more grand, and like they can come up with this and really implement this shit. Like, how have you ever played basketball or a sport and the other person, they trash, they can't really beat you, but somehow they keep making these lucky ass bullshit shots. And it's like, how the fuck you keep making that? That's how I feel, man. It's like, how the fuck do you keep getting away with this shit?
We allow it. We allow too
Yeah,
much
man.
to go on today. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah,
us, because
yeah,
when something do go down, what do? We get out and march in the streets with a bunch of
yep.
signs, and then half the
Emotional,
time those people
emotional.
get gassed. What else we do? Post it on social media and do a bunch of sharing and shit like that.
A whole bunch of nothing, yelling and screaming to the top of our lungs
Nothing that
because
we're
we
doing
raised with a bunch of
today,
women.
there's nothing that we're doing that's going to impact them enough to where they would give a damn to give us anything. So what we gonna have to do is start with the dollar, because that's what's gonna get their attention, and that's our biggest asset right now is our spending dollar. So if we transition how we spend our money and start spending it within the black community. You know what I'm saying? Like just but we have to start like some kind of network to where we have something that unites us within one, to where we have somewhere to spend it. But that's gonna be our starting point. Look at what we did to
Yeah,
Target. When we decide to do something, it makes an
it's the
impact.
power of the people.
But
It's the power of the
and
people,
they
bro.
know that. That's why they don't want us
Yeah,
unite doing nothing, because they know our power together.
because bro, they seen it. Like, man, that Ericana, again, I always bring her up. She broke down the history so cold, man. It's like, and even when you think about it, just from a a biological standpoint, biology, like when you have a people that come from a land that produces everything you need with no problem. Everything you need is right there. You got a tree over there that bear fruit, a tree over there that
Yeah.
got some different nuts and berries and all this
Yeah.
shit. It's animals running around here. It's water and rivers and lakes everywhere. You don't feel the need to go and conquer anything else. Let you have that over there. I'm gonna have mine over here, and we good. As a black people, that's really how we are by default.
Hmm.
Think about where Europeans come from and the environment that they come from and how their little plot of land may not have any of the resources that they need. They don't have a choice but to go somewhere else, wander off and pillage and try to fight for whatever resources that are available.
Right.
That breeds a certain type of human being. And that's where we are today. Black people, by default, because we come from Africa, a land that's plentiful in everything, we don't have an urge to go and conquer nobody else's nothing. But that's it's not the case on the flip. So for us, it's just not natural, and we have to find our middle ground and learn how to use some of these tools and these tricks that they have had to learn and implement them like they do because they've created this in this world. And the only way, like, we want a better, a more utopian sense of how things can go. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term Pangea, but
Yeah.
a long time ago when everything was connected, you know, it was we
Yeah.
were all one people. You know what I'm saying? So the only way we can get back to that is if we overthrow and conquer what we're in the midst of now. And unfortunately, that plan is so cold, that divide and conquer shit, it hit us so hard, just kind of like crack. You know what I'm saying? That crack era. It just hit us so hard and so cold that we just got to wiggle out of it. And when we do, we can really hit that ground running. But there's systems everywhere that hinder that. So we just got to get better at recognizing it and navigating.
I agree with that. I got a different segment. We gonna hit. I started this for Monday. This is that segment called classic or just average. We're gonna do the movies
Yeah.
first. So I got 5 movies, and we're gonna speak on whether they were classic. Okay, would they be a classic today, or would they just be average? Because back then they
Yeah.
were pretty good movies. So let's we're gonna start off. I'm gonna hit you with Drumline. What you think? Drumline was pretty good back in the day. Now, I mean, but it was
Yeah.
a
I don't
different
think that would
mindset.
slap as hard.
It
Yeah.
was a different
Yeah.
mindset back then. We had a different mindset than the
That
kids today. They
yeah,
don't. I don't think it
I
would hit.
think the
It would seem like a
the
Disney
black
show today,
yeah, yeah. It would probably be a musical,
a
more than
Disney
likely.
movie or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think Drumline was dope for where it was, kind of like a like Stomp the Yard, or you know, kind of some of the other ones. What's the one with Chris Brown in it? Where he was dancing and shit. What's the
that's
name of that
it.
movie?
Stomp the yard, ain't it?
Is that it?
That's next on the list.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go ahead then. Yeah, no, I don't think the Drumline would
I
hit as
think it
hard
would
as
be
it
just
did.
average. I
Yeah,
think it would
average
be
for
just
sure.
average. And speaking, since you brought up Stomp the Yard, now that one might be different because they still with the TikTok dances. Somebody would probably make that a TikTok dance today. You think so? They would make a trend out of that?
Mhm,
Average. You think that
mhm,
it'd be average too?
mhm. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think we had a different. I think our generation we had a different viewpoint on being college educated still,
Yeah,
and
they
that
don't
aspect
really
of life. Like we was the kids that grew up watching. We was the last ones that watched like the Cosbys and A
Family
Different World
Matters
and
and
shit
shit like
like
that.
that. Family Matters. So that type of stuff appeased us. But these young motherfuckers that's 20, 25 right now, no, hell no, no.
Mm, but they still like to dance because that's what made TikTok what it is today.
Yeah. Now if they made more catchy dances, if it
That's
wasn't like
what they.
choreographed
Yeah,
dances,
yeah. What? Yeah, they would have, and
if
it
it was just
depends
more
on
kind of
who it is
catchy,
too, because they would have to have that
yeah.
same type of cachet that Chris Brown had. That who else was in that? Megan Good was in that. You know what I'm saying? Like
Megan Good, yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
would have to. You
Who 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 would represent those people nowadays though in music and entertainment? Those type of
the
people,
thing is,
other than
nobody
the
really
ones.
do R&B like we did R&B.
That's my point. We were a different group of people that appreciated a different type of lifestyle. I don't think that would catch on as much now for those reasons.
Viva say she auntie is tired. I guess she about to head out. Appreciate you being here. Have a good night to you too. Thank you for
Have a good
joining.
night
We'll be back Friday, so come back and holler at us.
for sure.
Yeah, I think okay, so what about house party?
Now, house party, that might bring back an era. I think that's just old enough to where that might bring back a way of going about things. Like house parties might kick off again if house party was new right now.
It would start back trending with house parties again.
I I think
I
the
can
house
see that.
parties would trend a little more. Like not I don't think they would be the same as how we had house parties because just times are different now.
Well,
But
the
I think
thing
that
is,
would start.
they don't go to the parties to dance. They go and get on their phone and stand on the wall and shit. That's why it ain't no fun going to the club no more. Because
You're right.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they don't do it like we used to do it. We go to the club, we finna party in that motherfucker. We have a house party,
Yeah.
you finna dance. You finding a girl to dance with. If you gonna dance with that one all night, you gonna dance.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Nowadays, they don't they too busy trying to take pictures and show everybody else what they doing instead of just enjoying the
I
moment.
think I think there's a certain demographic though. I think everything nowadays is being broken down. Everybody's finding their own group of people. You know what I'm saying? So I think that those people would find other like-minded people. Like I think if you had like a situation where that came out and it was more not just simply house parties, but like TikTok dances and challenges and different stuff like that going on, to where the club itself was recording these things and putting it out and putting it on their own social media and stuff like that. Like I think little tweaks would be made for the times that we're in, but I think that would still start a different type of movement if the people that are doing these parties, because I don't think it'll be house parties no more. I don't think it'll be people going to people's houses no more. But I think there will be small, like kickback get-togethers at different establishments. That mindset will become another thing again. The kick it, kind of come in and play card games. You've got a space table over there. You got a dominoes over here. You got some
Well,
food
the
over
difference
there. Like,
is we didn't shoot those places up.
yeah,
That's why
yeah,
it kind of fell off. You know what I'm saying? Because I,
yeah,
at first, they were
yeah,
still going on here in Dallas. I mean, just a few years ago, hell, I went to a house party. But once that whole, they started shooting them up because we used to have like field parties. Just find a random field and go party in them over. But you can't do it no more.
yeah. I think that might end up changing too, because it's gonna be so. It's already been so much of that going on, so drastic with the killing and shooting up, bang bang shit,
Yeah.
that's gonna create a demographic of those young people who say, all right, we see what that do, we ain't doing none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll spark that mindset again. It'll
Okay.
be some differences, but I think it'll still spark the mindset.
So house party. So you saying it would be a classic again today, or just
Yeah,
that? I think
house
it would be a
party,
classic.
especially if it came with the series like it did, like the one, two, three, whatever.
Now
Yeah,
it just depends on who they get it to, because Kid and Play and Martin and Tisha Campbell and it's you know what I'm saying? Like they had some names. You would have to get somebody
right.
like some DC Young Fly or somebody on that
Yeah,
type of level to have
yeah.
that type of
But everybody's looking to be in entertainment nowadays, so it's always new people to break into
yeah.
this industry, so to say. So it's not a shortage of talent,
No,
So I think it'll be, I
they
think
could
it'll be
find
all
it.
right.
Major Pain.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be a classic forever, bro. I don't care when that
But
come
if
out.
it can, because army movies ain't the same for this generation as it was for us. We love them type of movies,
Major Pain, that
but
motherfucker would still be a
it's
slap,
the way. I don't know
man.
because that corny comedy. don't really hit like it did with us.
You think Damon Wayans had corny comedy?
Major Pain was. Damon Wayans, that's what I'm saying. Like that, he's not really viewed it as. I mean, he's funny to us in Living Color. You know what I'm saying? All of that. But this generation, I don't think they would find that type of comedy funny.
The jokes would have to be better.
Definitely have to be. But as far as the concept of Major Pain, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, the
It's,
concept overall, they could make a movie like that. The comedy would have to be up to date. So yeah,
I
I
just
give you
don't
that.
think that type of movie today would hit like it did with us.
No,
I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't
like, cause
know.
who would you have play Major Pain today? That can do. I mean, cause he can't. He got to play it like Damon did. Damon killed that role. So who 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 could play that? I don't see nobody.
If my mind is going right now, trying to
Maybe
come up with a name.
let me see, cause maybe Kevin Hart. You think it? No,
No,
he'd be
no.
too a little too silly with it.
Yeah, he's too goofy. We need somebody who's The Rock, The Rock, The Rock. He's not black, but The Rock. I think he's funny enough to come with that.
But this
Now I
generation
don't.
don't really fuck with The Rock like we did. He just get a lot of his shit now because of the white women, but The Rock ain't really as popular because look at what just happened when he tried to save
I think
DC and his movie flopped. He ain't got the same impact he once had.
I think if he came out in a role like Major Payne, I
Mm,
think he would.
I don't know,
I
bro.
think if he came out in a
I
role
think it
like
would be
that,
seen
that's
as like
something
an
completely
Amazon movie
different.
or something today. I don't think it would be. I don't think it would because in theaters it did pretty good. Today, I don't think they would go see it like that. A lot of the
Well,
movies
not in the
today gotta
theaters.
have
You
some
had to
content.
go to the theaters back then. You didn't have a choice but to go to the theaters if you wanted to see it.
Yeah,
Nowadays, you can stream it.
they trying to get it to where you know what I'm saying. They're trying to stop that pirating and stuff like that, but you still got
Yeah.
apps that you can stream it to. I get what you're saying, but I would I my I,
Marissa, she said Samuel L. Jackson. You see that? Samuel
Samuel
L. Jackson. What you think of him?
Jackson.
That might be it.
Ooh,
That might be one of them ones. He gets to popping. He gets to
he
saying that
now
motherfucker.
he can
Hey,
play that role. I ain't even think about old Samuel. That's a good one.
yeah. I told you it's somebody. I was my
Shit,
wheels
because
was
he's still
turning,
relevant with the young audience too because of Marvel.
and he can talk
So
that shit.
and he talks that shit, and he funny with it too,
Like
but it's not a corny funny,
it's like say he came with a Coach Carter type of, you know what I'm saying, frame of,
but a little more
you know what I'm
comedy.
saying, with a little more comedy to it, because he can be funny.
Yeah, he can be
He, you know
funny.
what I'm saying. So
I could see him. That was a good
I
one.
that's a good one.
That's a
That's a
good one.
good one.
Damn, that's a good one.
Yeah,
But he older though. But would he? Yeah, but I don't know. That's damn. That was a good one.
he can still
So
be a drill sergeant. You know what I'm
if if
saying? He can be
if
an
if it's
admiral.
him, I would say classic because he gonna have that shit. That's gonna be. I would go see that. Now anybody else, I don't. Let me see who else other
What
than
do
that.
you think, Bernie? Do you think RP Bernie Mac? Do you think he could pull that off?
Bernie would have killed it. That would have been
Hey man, hey
nah.
bro,
The way he would have been in
Bernie
that
would have.
role. Oh
Yeah,
man, yeah, he would have
yeah,
killed it. I
yeah,
would say, so I say, yeah, I would say it probably still be a classic today. It just depends
yeah.
on how it's written and who it is.
Yeah.
It
It,
still
it
got the
depends on
potential.
all the particulars. Yeah, it
Yeah.
got potential.
Okay, let's go with. I had a few names for the Tyler Perry plays, but I'm gonna say the Medea plays. Remember the plays that came out on DVD for us, because they don't know
Yeah,
nothing about DVD now.
they don't know nothing about DVDs right now. Yeah,
All his plays that originally came out was on the DVDs, the Medea plays. Now, do you think if he came with Medea today, starting out now, would it have been as popular today as it was when
I
we
think
made it?
I think it'll be even bigger. I think it'll be even bigger. It will be way bigger. If Tyler Perry started right now with the Medea movies and streamed them on all the Tubies and the Netflix and the everything, that shit, I don't think he would be as rich because you needed some of the more hard copies from back in the day to get his money up. But yeah, I think Medea would be crazy nowadays. Just the
He just
concept,
tried it though.
because
He just did a movie of
what you
Medea
mean?
and it didn't do that good.
Because it's old now. It's been we he didn't beat up Black America with Medea for 15 years now. So at this point, it's just
But that
washed up.
younger generation, our kids didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? So
They
them,
see it every day with their mamas and their aunties and their grandmas that looked at that watched it all damn day. They see
I
it
don't,
all day, every day.
I don't,
It's
I don't.
Medeas nowadays everywhere.
I think it'll be too. I think the plays would work. I don't know. I don't even think the plays would work today because of, well, I don't know because Tubi famous. Well, shit, you right. Hell, and it's basically the same type of acting. So yeah, you might
Telling
be
you.
right. It might still be a hit today.
It would have caught on just like those rundown, those little low budget Tubi movies. It would have caught fire just like that and been
Yeah.
huge.
Yep. So right. Yep. 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 Okay. Well, that's it for that segment. Our next segment is called Pass the Aux. And this is the one where we break down the music and figure out something. We ain't gonna always do like a artist versus artist. Sometimes we might just do a breakdown. That's once we start, getting better software. We get a little better at this. We have videos
All
that
right,
go with it.
for sure.
But for right now, so we got Boys to Men versus Jodeci. It's gonna be a tough
Ooh,
one.
that's one of them ones.
It's a tough one. Now you got to know this. If you know what I'm saying. Like you can't be
Yeah,
one of the young ones and think you're gonna know about this one. This is right here for the millennials.
for real.
First one we got Water Runs Dry. Remember that?
Uh huh. Yep, yep, yep.
And then you
What you
got
got against that one?
Cry for You, Jodeci.
Cry for you.
I was
I
gonna,
gotta go with that one.
yeah, I
I
was
gotta
gonna
go with
say
that
that
one.
too. I say Cry for You.
Um,
It's just I tried to match them up together because they kind of similar songs. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
But
But
to
man,
me,
Jodeci just kind of overall, bro. They've been more pivotal in the black community as far as the. Well, I won't say that.
I
I'll take
don't
that back.
know now, boys. The men had them number one songs for.
You're right, but see, I think Boys to Men, they got so big because they were more inclusive in general. They're more pop, so they kind of encompass. I know a lot of white people that like Boys to Men. You know what I'm saying? They kind of have that more commercial pitch to them. Jodeci from the hood. That's a hood classic more so. That's kind of like comparing, I don't know, like a Mariah Carey to Mary J. Blige, like, you know what
Boy,
I'm saying? Like,
you better boy, you finna get ate your finna eat your ass up for that comment. Mariah Carey
you think
to Mary
it's? I'm
J.
just saying,
Blige.
like, it's
Ooh.
just the difference in the
Preference,
kind of
you think?
the preference, the personality type, the demographic that listens to them. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
like people
Like,
that listen to Jodeci though.
it's no one for anything, but overall,
Jodeci, I see you
you would
saying
hear
Jodeci was. I mean, Boys to Men was more mainstream, and Jodeci was
Boys to
more.
Men, you would hear Boys to Men Christmas songs on any station. You're not listening to Jodeci on 90 on certain stations. You're just not gonna hear it.
Nah, yeah, it ain't that type of music, but a lot of Boys to Men music ain't gonna be heard on. Cause they a lot of they
But
but I mean that's about it.
go
They
ahead.
Christmas songs or maybe they Mother's Day song, Mama. You might hear that on the
Yeah.
but
You only
okay.
need certain songs to cross over to kind of thrust your numbers,
But
especially,
ain't that Boys to Men
into
song,
that
that
next.
Christmas song is the one with Mariah, right? That's them and Mariah.
I think they got a Christmas song that's separate from her too. I think they do have one with her,
Okay,
but I
okay.
think they have some. They got they got some crossover records that did well in the in the pop mainstream
Yeah. They do.
avenue. So that's all
Speaking
I'm
of,
saying. Boys
so
to Men is more mainstream than Jodeci.
yeah. I can see that. Number two, you got It's Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday. That's a good one.
Oh,
It's
that's a
hard
classic. Oh
to say.
man.
But then you got for Jodeci, Stay.
Oh shit.
Ooh. That they both classics in their own way. So it's you know what I'm saying? Like that's a tough
I
one.
gotta go with the boys. I gotta go with the Boys to Men on that one.
Ooh.
Only because man, that's one of them ones that was so big
Yeah, it
to where
was.
man, it's hard to go against that one.
Marissa say
It's hard to go
stay.
against that one.
Stay. I was
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I might be biased because I was just listening to Stay a couple days ago, so I'm gonna go with that one. Cause
It's
it's
fresh
still
in your mind right
yeah,
now.
it's still
Yeah.
there. You know what I'm saying? All right, number three. Speaking of Mama, that was a no. Wait. Yeah, Mama. You remember that one? They use it for Mother's Day
Uh-huh.
now, but
Off of Soul Food, that the sounds Soul Food soundtrack. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
And then
classic. I'm gonna go with that one.
regardless, so it ain't no.
I want to hear what you say. I want to hear what you say. But man, for black men in America, them hood mama songs, bro, it just hit a little different.
Yeah,
So man, it's hard to not even just simply because of you, but because it was so ingrained into our culture growing up. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Some of them songs, bro, it's just hard to shake. But what was the Jodeci song though you wanted to compare it to though?
Uh, hold on.
There go my light every time, man. Damn.
It like say it be letting us know when it's time to go. Huh?
The light be tapping out on me, man. I gotta get another one ASAP, bro.
Yeah, this other one. I don't
ASAP.
even know if hold on. Let me do something right quick. I was trying to give you a little more time too. So the other one, what did I say? Boys to Me and Mama, right? That was for the Mother's Day.
Yeah, Boys to Men, Mama. Uh huh.
And then you got for Jodeci, I got Love You for Life. So uh,
Yeah, that's a classic. But yeah, Mama, it's not going. You gotta
it,
find
it,
Jodeci's number one song to compare to that one.
but I didn't want to put that with Mama because you know what I'm saying. They number one song ain't gonna really fit against that because of the type of
You
song it
right. You
is.
right. It's not the same. That's what I was saying.
Mm-mm.
As far as when you get to looking at the numbers and
But
just hearing it so. Uh huh.
these next three finna be tough.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it then. Let's hear it. What you got, bro?
You got Boys to Men on Bended Knee,
Ooh.
and you got Jodeci Forever My Lady.
God damn,
I
that's tough.
told you, yeah, that's why I saved them.
Shit.
We finna get to it now.
Oh, bro, that's hard, man.
On
On
Bended
bended
Knee
knee.
versus
On
Forever
bended
My
knee
Lady.
is such a
Ooh,
god damn. On bended shit.
ooh, that's Forever My Lady. Ooh, it's
Man,
tough. It's
oh
tough. That's tough.
man,
I
that's
told
so
you I was
hard.
hey. Yeah, she say Bended
I
Knee.
gotta go with bended knee.
Ooh.
Fuck. I don't know. I gotta say forever my lady. Ooh,
Yeah, okay,
yeah, man,
okay.
come on, man.
I got it.
When he hit that when he hit that note, bro, man, look. I don't
It's
know.
like a dream. Oh man, I don't know, man.
Man,
I'm gonna have to go with on bended knee too, cause ooh, don't
word?
ever
Oh
want, especially
man.
when he get to talking that acapella part, baby. I'm sorry. Please forgive me,
Yeah.
Father.
Yeah, what? Shit.
Okay,
He made every dude want to go apologize just because.
just because, and
Shit.
play that part right there. Why you
Yeah, just to
apologize?
play that one part. Yeah.
So we got end of the road, boys to men
Ooh.
versus fiending for Jodeci.
End of the road. Fiending is close. Fiending is big. Man, these is tough, bro. You right. God damn. But no, I
Ooh.
can't go against I can't go against the boys to men on that one.
Mm,
Ugh.
mm, on that one.
Damn. Yeah. Fiending.
Ah, whew. Let me see. She say fiending. Ooh, dang, that's.
Yeah, that's tough,
I
dude.
think I'm gonna say end of the road too on that one. I might have to disagree with you on that one, Baressa, but ooh, that's tough. That's a tough one because
It's tough. I really don't feel like there's a wrong answer, bro. For
not with
real.
those, not with not
Not
with
with
that one.
them. Not with them.
Last
It's
one,
certain
and this
ones
gonna
that.
be even tougher than that one. So we got
Yeah. Okay.
I'll make love to you, boys to men. Come
Hmm.
and talk to me, Jodeci.
Come and talk to me. Hey,
You know
I
what I'm saying?
really wanna be. Yeah, can I talk to you? Uh, I really wanna. Man, look, god damn, that's the. What was the Boys to Men song again?
The I'll make love to you. The one that was number one for
Uh,
like 20 damn weeks back in the 90s, remember?
man,
I'll make love to you.
that their biggest song today?
I believe that and Mama.
That gotta be one of them.
Yeah,
Shit.
yeah. She said, come and talk to
Um,
me. Ooh, come and talk. That's what I was.
nah.
I don't know.
This
I'm-
this is what I'm
Yeah,
saying, bro. It's a difference between the hood classics
yeah,
and the national big classics. Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
It's really
That's
about
tough.
that's yeah, yeah. That's tough right there.
I would go with Boys to Men again on that one.
I make love to you.
I'll make love to you, yeah, like you want me,
Mm,
man. Look,
Uh,
yeah, they killed that one. They
I
killed that
don't.
song,
Yeah,
bro.
they did,
I
but I'm gonna have to say, oh shit. I'm gonna say, come and talk to me.
can't.
I've been watching you for so
Yeah, man.
very long. I don't know, man. That motherfucker, that jam. But that I'll make love. If when you put I'll make love to you on, I mean, you know, it's pretty much.
Yeah.
That's like throwing on R. Kelly.
It's
Uh,
but both of them is though. Can you
Jodeci is too, but Jodeci, yeah, Jodeci
come
really
and talk to
have,
me? That'll get you the draws before look, so here's how I see it.
yeah,
Jodeci will get you the draw the new draws. Boys to Men gonna
get you,
keep your wife at home.
yeah. All right, bro.
So
That's
whichever way you want to do it. So
yeah. It's just about preference, huh?
yeah, yeah,
That's it for that segment. We got one more. If you want to do a Q and A, since we got Marissa she been in the comments here lately. Viva.
yeah. Marissa, come on in here and chop it up with us. Come on in here and
Yeah.
say something.
Anything you want to ask?
Q
Anything
and A.
you want us to talk about? Friday.
Yeah,
Any
any topic you
suggestions?
want to
Any
bring up.
topics? What do y'all like to talk about? Because I'll be noticing the numbers
Yeah,
go up and down when we talk about certain
yeah,
subjects.
yeah. Try to work on incorporating the audience a little more, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, in the meantime, while you know what I'm saying, we waiting for somebody to check in, man. I just kind of want to kind of still touch on, bro, again with everything that's going on in America right now and all the stuff, all the tariff shit and
Yeah.
what we was talking about as far as these South Africans coming in here and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I believe as a people, you just enjoy watching.
That's what's up.
You can come up with a question though. Give us a challenge. Come on now. But but no, I really feel like we should be, because living in America, bro, is like living in a mall. And black people in America are the little kiosk people who are out. You know, when you're walking through the mall and they trying to stop you to smell cologne and stop you to shine your shoes and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's what black people are right now in America. We barely making it. We barely surviving, but we doing our damn thing still nonetheless. We striving. But man, we got to get to a point where we can get some unison and we can start making stretching our dollar, and we stretch our dollar by tapping in with our people over in Africa. Bro, I think, me personally, and I'm going to really start pushing for this for myself. I'm going to look to really move my wealth, like start creating and building wealth in Africa in preparation for any silly shit and or retirement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, with how the money converts from US dollars to whatever country you end up in South America, they use rands or whatever.
Right.
Like, it's so easy. Like, with the know-how that Black Americans have, we have such an advantage because we've been shoulder to shoulder with these white people and their systems and their processes and how they do things. We can take that with our creativity over to Africa and create and create and create. We can get into the politics over there. We can get into all the businesses over there. The same way the big Walmarts and the Targets and the Amazons over here, we could do that as Black America over in Africa.
Let me
And
ask you this.
really, go ahead.
Because I did a video about us becoming our own nation. Now, Africa would be one place that would probably give us our own country. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
do you
Uh-huh.
think America would allow black people to leave? As much as racism and they all talk about, oh, we'd rather be segregated than be over here and all that. Do you really think they would want black Americans to leave America?
I think it depends. If we are leaving and we are loud about why we're leaving and what we're doing when we're leaving, then no, they're gonna put a stop to that, because they're gonna, why they bring us over here to begin with? They're gonna keep trying to divide us and keep using us as that slave labor. They're gonna keep trying to do that no matter what. If we're going quietly, like, we're just tired of America and we're gonna take all of our, go over there,
That's
whatever
what
the
I'm
case.
saying. Even a quiet movement.
I think they would. I don't think they would care because of this whole, what you're talking about the whole race war thing. Like,
I
many
don't
of
think
them
they
fuck with
would.
us and like us.
I'm
I
gonna tell
think.
you why.
Go
We
ahead.
are the driving force for just about everything that goes on in America. They make it seem like we are the smallest 13%. I believe that's a lie because I think it's more. They've been saying 47 million since the 60s. I know damn well it's more than that by now. You know what I'm saying? So I believe
Hmm.
they know what we really contribute as far as the workforce, as far as what I'm saying, the spending, the consumers, and all of that. We are the number one consumers
Yeah,
in this country. So if they let
yeah.
us go to
We're the number one
Africa,
consumers in the world.
yeah, and we're the number one trendsetters of everything. So if they let us go to
Exactly. Yeah,
Africa with that, they're not gonna that now they can't allow it because it's too much money in the United States that is
yeah,
made off of our community. So what we would
yeah.
have to do is
I think they've been replacing us though. I think that's kind of that. That's been their goal, is to replace us. So
I
the
don't think they're
same
replacing
goal
us.
that
It ain't us they
I
replacing.
think so. I think they're replacing us with the Hispanics. I would absolutely believe that.
No, 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 no.
The
It
working
ain't enough of them.
class. That's
It ain't enough of them to replace us. I'm gonna tell you who they see the people that's getting replaced are the ones that thinking that we are the enemy. And that's the problem. What they trying to do is
mm,
rebuild because the white
yeah,
population is dying off. I mean, you could look this up as
yeah,
facts. It's more deaths than
yeah.
births going on right now. So A lot of this
Right.
movement is because they bringing in people that that can boost their population. See, Asians tried to get classified
Right.
as white, but they didn't allow them to do it.
Yeah.
But some Hispanics are classified as white. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
If you can pass for it, yeah.
yeah, and so I believe when it comes to the Hispanics and all of that, they know they're not gonna replace black people because they don't spend the money that we spend. Nobody does. You know what I'm saying? So as far as that, and you know that's the thing. America is a
It's
corporation. That's the driving force is money, and
it's different though. It's more than
you're not finna
it's
let
more than
your
one way.
top dollar go. You're not gonna let your top consumer go.
True, true. But when that top
No,
consumer has recognized their value and they're requiring more,
you
the
give them more
the
where they at.
alternative,
They'll give now.
the
If
al-
we get to talking about leaving, I guarantee you they'll give us reparations. I
oh, if
they'll
we
come up with it some kind of way to figure out how to
if
keep
we
us here.
could if we could ever come together enough to move in an actual and with the actual movement of doing it. Us individually,
No, no, yeah,
two
you're
here,
right.
three there,
No,
10 there,
no,
that
yeah,
ain't gonna
hell
make a bit
no.
of difference.
Even if it's
But
just
if
a
we
hundred
do it as
thousand,
a
that ain't enough. That ain't even
yeah,
enough to
but
fill up a
if we
city.
you're right, but if we do it as one big movement, then yeah, I absolutely see where you're going with that. They ain't about to let that happen at all. They'll
No,
try to kill us before they let us leave.
but even if it's just, but see, individually leaving, it wouldn't be enough of an impact to do anything for Africa because of all the
I
corruption that's
disagree.
over there. It's too much
I disagree
corruption,
with
bro.
that.
It's too much corruption.
I, I
I'm
I
talking to
believe there's
people
a lot of
now that's
corruption.
trying to do shit over there, and they got political
Yeah.
ties and can't barely. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but I think the power of our American dollar can make a real difference. Now, you don't need, millions
yeah,
to
it
go
could.
over
It
there
could.
to start making a difference. If you get 50 who have the US money, the dollar power in America to go over there, like
Yeah,
if again that conversion rate is crazy. So if we got each of us go over there with $100,000, which is not far fetched, it's really not. If 12 people, 50 people go to
that
Africa
ain't enough though.
with $100,000, that's millions. That
They
might
just
be
tried
billions
that.
to them.
They just tried that. Akon and them tried that. It didn't work.
Well,
They shut it down.
again, they loud as a mother. They loud as fuck with that
But
though.
but
Again, you
either way,
got to
with
go
the
to
internet and the way it is now, it's gonna be found out because you gotta book the flight to go. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
and Akon was building his own city like from the ground up.
What you
That's
think we gonna
easily to
do?
put it. It's easy to put out that fire though. What I'm saying is you got to start with already established governments and infiltrate those with your money. And there otherwise you saying no, but you see you just gave the example of if you try to build it from the ground up. That's not gonna work. That's too easy to put out that fire. It's
Yeah,
too easy
because
to
it
fuck
wasn't
that up.
enough of them. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't
I
enough.
don't think it's never gonna be that
Oh,
many
it
to where
can.
you can take over a government.
No,
No.
you don't want. But see, that's the thing. You'll never be able to take over the government because of the corruption over there. So the only thing you can do is either work with it or work against it. We not like with everything that's going on in Africa now. Unless we get in with Ibrahim Traore, you know what I'm saying? Like we get some direct ties with him and the people that, like the president of South Africa. Now
Yeah.
he's on the same type of shit Ibrahim on. If we can get in
Yeah.
with like some people like that, then I agree with you because they ain't corrupted. But it's hard.
Even if they are corrupted, man, you can trick. Man, the corrupted people are the easiest ones to get
Yeah,
because
but if
they
you can
want. They
corrupt
want
them,
money.
somebody else can too.
You don't. That's fine. You don't
And
need
the
them
thing
to
is, it don't matter
stay.
how much money we come with as a black people, we ain't gonna never be able to fight that fight, the money fight. So trying to go that route and
I disagree with that. I
nah,
disagree with
bro,
that.
because they got shit. We talking about countries. This a different level
Poor,
when you talking
poor
about governments.
countries.
So you talking about infiltrating where France is known, where Spain is
Mm-hmm.
known, where Asia.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're not gonna be
Mm-hmm.
able to infiltrate that.
Yeah. I disagree, bro.
Our
I
money ain't
disagree.
gonna be enough to conquer to top their money because all they gonna do is whatever we offer, it's gonna be at the most we can offer. They gonna double it.
Well,
Then
I
what?
think you
Then
have to
what?
be a lot more strategic than to try to go flat out versus an entire government directly. I think it has to be more of finding someone like who that old girl that we was kind of talking with from Kenya who was trying to start her own political party.
Dare you?
Like
Yeah,
I've had conversations with her about, she has the insight, the know-how firsthand, the ground level information to say this is what we should do, shouldn't do, should do whatever, and fund her. Excuse me.
yeah. We gonna have to start our own government, and that's the
That's what I'm
only way
saying.
we
Like you have
gonna
to,
know it's not corrupt. Is to form our own government, find our own leaders that we appoint.
yeah. But again, we have to use the certain people, like the certain ones that's corrupt in these positions. We have to use them to get them out of that position, or use them for whatever we can use them for, and look around them. Like if they are a roadblock, we can't just not do it. We have to figure out how to
No,
use this roadblock for the benefit.
I can
So
see
that's
that,
all I'm
but
saying.
at the same time, you don't want to let them know what's
Because where
going
you gonna
on.
start your own government at? Where are you gonna start a government brand new on this planet?
You can do
Everywhere
that. You can
already
start your
has,
own government here in the United States. You can be
but
your own
at that
militia.
point you're fighting against the federal government at that point.
But that's
That's where
gonna
the
be
Black Panther
anywhere.
Party and all that other shit went left, because the
Yeah, but they
government is
start
looking
blowing
at
shit
you.
up and shit though. You know what I'm
That's what
saying?
I'm saying. Like if you're coming off as a threat to the government, wherever you are, there's a government that's bigger than you. So starting a brand new government, no matter where you are, is an uphill battle that we're not prepared to fight, because that fire you're starting
That's why
from
you don't
bricks.
do it until you get prepared. We can't just go in with just because we got American money and think that's gonna change make a difference over there in Africa. Because
We as
they
long as
got
we
their
tapped in the right way.
no, I'm telling you, bro, like they don't operate like that. You know what I'm saying? They got ties and loyalty to certain countries. They gonna take our dollar and then use it. And then we gonna still get messed around in the end.
No,
It depends
I
on who you
think
working with, but most likely it's hard to find somebody. That's why, like, so this lady that I'm working with from over there, she's trying to start her own bank. Uh, first communist bank or something like that. I'm gonna have her on here pretty soon. I've been talking to her,
okay.
but she's trying to start a bank over there that's not because they banks are under I think what is it China or something like that. Uh,
Depends on the country. Yeah, France,
but
China, one
the
of them.
main one that holds it got to go through like this one bank before it's dispersed to all the rest of them, right?
Right.
Ain't that on? That's the one that's owned by either Asia or some shit like that. France, one of them. But
Yeah.
so she's starting a new bank that's not under that rule. Now, what we
Hmm.
could do is invest in that bank, and then that would be,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? That's a way to do it, and
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm saying, bro. Become what are those people that they call in America that really low key run the government? What are those people? Bureaucrats. We can become black bureaucrats. That's what I meant, bro. I don't know if you thought I meant
once
just
we
going
get
over there
yeah, because
and
see,
trying
once
to
we
pay
get a
off.
bank or like some type of funding like that behind us over there, that's being funded through
Yeah,
American dollars, then we gotta
yeah.
decide to start our own shit.
That's That's what I'm saying, bro. So we talking about the same thing. We on slightly different points of it. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not saying just go over there and try to cash out the first politician we see. I'm
yeah.
saying like get over there, establish some shit, own some businesses, own a bunch of land
Start
and
buying
property.
land over there. Yeah,
Yeah, to where you have this leverage in that country to where, whoever's corrupt, you own so much that they have to appease you in some way. They have to. You
yeah.
have to put them in that position. You got to put them in a fucking figure four, in a chokehold to where they don't have a choice but to deal with you.
Yeah.
And then from that point, that's where the infiltration and the taking over and the now we get to dictate who what money goes where and does what in this government.
But
That's what
see,
I mean.
the only thing is at that point we'll have to start dealing with the United States government because what would they call that? If you don't have, I mean, we would have to get dual citizenship or become full citizens over there. You know what I'm saying?
Every other group of people do that.
But
Chinese people do it. Asian people do it. Middle
they
Eastern
ain't
people
black
do it.
Americans though. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like
right.
they got
You
the
right.
freedom to do that. We, on
You
the other
right.
hand, are
We get,
prisoners of war.
hey, we either do it or we don't. If we don't do it, we still here. If we do it, we gonna get fucked with. So we got to do it regardless.
We need to
So
do
we got to do it
something. We need to
unapologetically.
do
Yeah,
something because the way it's
yeah,
going right now ain't working for us, and we just steady falling behind.
ex-
If you look on the
exactly.
chart of everything, we last unless it say sports or entertainment.
Black men in the scope of the world, bro. Black men are at the bottom
Yep,
as a group,
yep.
as a whole group,
Black
not
men are,
individuals.
yeah, and hell, black women just
Yeah,
slightly above us.
and black women are right above us. In every other culture, there it's the opposite. So it's white men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, Middle Eastern men, Middle
We
Eastern
the
women,
only
and then
ones
it's
that are
black
below
women,
our
black
women.
men.
Yeah,
Right. And we at the very bottom. We below our women and at the very
and
bottom at the same
last
time.
below everybody, even our own women.
Man,
Like
bro.
it's crazy.
Man.
Well,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
That's all for tonight. We can check back in. We gonna hit this back Friday. Tell them where to follow you at.
Easy does it on all platforms, man. I've done converted my Facebook into a professional account. I done converted my Instagram
I
into a
saw that.
professional account. I
I
got my
seen where you was
TikTok
asking people
popping
how to start doing videos and stuff.
on breaking it down how to how to do some of the stuff. So man, I'm really putting forth the effort and the energy to learn this new this new element of podcasting and content creation, bro. So yeah, every easy does it on every platform. Tap in with your boy. I'm gonna start going live. I'm gonna start doing different shit like that. And yeah, y'all just fuck with me, bro. Bear with me because this light been pissing me off, dog. So I gotta get my shit together. I gotta
Yeah.
get my shit together.
Hey,
But we
like I
here,
always
man. We
say,
here.
this part of the journey. You know what I'm saying? And those that
Yeah,
has been with
yeah.
us since the beginning, wait till we get to where we going. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Then they're
yeah,
gonna,
they gonna bring it. They gonna bring up this light situation.
yeah, they go. You know
They
this.
gonna bring up that
Oh
shit,
man,
bro.
remember when y'all and his light kept going out and you had the green
Yeah,
screen in the
yeah.
background and yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's
all
a
that,
learning
man. But
experience.
it's been wonderful, bro. Man, I appreciate you inviting me on this platform and kind of getting these thoughts, views, and opinions out, bro. Because man, we gotta start having these conversations
Yeah,
just amongst black men. We just talked about it, man. Black men is at the fucking bottom,
yeah,
and it's embarrassing.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
As
we
a
got to
black
start
man with
holding each other
pride,
accountable. You know what I'm saying? As men.
yeah, as a black man with some pride, you know what I'm saying, with a backbone that know that we man, this is our planet. This belongs to us. And we getting disrespected and it's our fault.
It's our
So
fault.
yeah, man, we gotta start somewhere. And these type of dialogues, this type of conversation excuse me, is necessary. And man, I think it's gonna build into something great, like we were just talking about, bro.
Yeah.
We gonna do some big things with this.
It's just yeah, this just the beginning. We what like fourth episode, fifth episode, maybe. We got
Yeah, 4 or 5
man,
episodes, yeah.
yeah. Follow the Black Club on all platforms, even Spotify, Apple, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We everywhere with it. Even on Twitter, on X, if you on X. Like, subscribe,
Yeah,
share this. We trying to get in the algorithm, so
yeah.
we're gonna stay consistent with it. But I appreciate y'all that tuned in, stuck with us throughout the whole show. We'll see you Friday.
Signing out.